ask you a question. What is the most powerful force in human history?
Most powerful force? I don't know. What is it, Justin?
Well, to use the words of Matthew Kelly, the most powerful force in human history is story. You want to start a war? Tell a story. You want to end a war? Tell a story. You want people to fall in love? Tell a story. You want people to fall out of love? Tell a story. You want to degrade people? Tell a story. You want to motivate people? Tell a story. The most powerful force in human history is a story. You're feeling it, Sean, aren't you?
Yeah, wow. It's really interesting. So you're telling me, if I have this correctly, you know, if I'm hearing this right, you're telling me everyone has a story?
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, Sean, so I'm hearing your video. What do you want to know?
Well, basically, Justin, I just want to know your story.
My story?
Yeah.
So everyone has a different story. Mine began, you know, I was raised in a great Catholic family. Went to a great Catholic high school, had a great Catholic education. But that story really started to unfold once I got to college. I really was introduced to my Catholic faith for the first time. And so now when I tell my story to people about how my life started to change in college, I can explain it a little bit more deeply because you know, my prayer life, my relationship with Christ, with people in the CCM community, it started to change everything.
Hey! What are you doing in my office? Run.
My story.
Your story.
You want to hear my story.
I want to hear your story. Well, first of all, do you have a story?
Yeah,
Yeah? Is it a good story?
I hope so. It's good for me.
I'm really nervous right now, you guys.
Alright, you ready, Julian? What is your story? Do you have a story?
No. Are we done?
My story? Well, let's see. I like a lot of people, grew up cradle Catholic. You know, I was always a pretty good kid. I just did what my parents told me and stuff. I didn't really know my faith, though.
Well, in high school, I was super involved, but I didn't really have much of a relationship with Christ. I was pretty much a cradle Catholic, you know, like.
I wanted to fit in, but I still had this moral, I guess, virtue inside me that would keep me from fitting in, and so I would please those around me who, you know, would kind of accept the happy-go-lucky, somewhat Christian kind of girl, but really there was just no purpose, no meaning, no love.
What was my life like before college? Fast and distracted. Yeah, I didn't really see how fast my life was going, so I couldn't really see the difference between what I was doing on a Saturday night, out at parties and whatnot, and then what I was doing on Sunday night at the chapel.
I was a cradle Catholic, but not in. I was cradle Catholic until like 3rd grade. Does that count? Kind of fell out of my faith when I was young still. Never really thought about getting back into my faith ever. Never really crossed my mind.
My life was just kind of fast-paced. I was hanging out with friends all the time, playing soccer, not worrying about school, going to church at times when my parents made me, and yeah, just doing whatever I want. I didn't have to worry about anything. I felt like I could do anything. No one really stopped.
Before college, I was just kind of like wanted to be the popular guy, and you know that kind of carried over to college. But I really didn't have like a sense of purpose. I really didn't understand what it meant to have a story, to have a relationship within your faith with other people and with God. It just was all really foreign to me.
Sideburns. How can we get sideburns like yours?
Well, I comb mine and put gel on them every day. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, my life has changed in college. I'd like to say it changed right away. I'd like to say that I didn't kind of fall into the generic do what you do in college because you saw it in the movies when you were in high school. But after, like, I guess the college experience, CCM was still there, sitting patiently, reaching out to me, and they really gave me a good place to make my faith my own and embrace it and have a personal relationship with God. And when you have that, like when you fall in love with something so much, it can't help but to change everything.
I realized that there was more purpose to life than just like what I did, it was like who I was in God's eyes, and like who I was as a Catholic, and like what it meant to me, and like to have a relationship with God, and then like how the relationship with Him branched out to other people, and that was really big. It's just like seeing how like our love between ourselves and God is reflected with other people, and like it was really great.
I joined a Christian fraternity, had great fraternity brothers who were challenging me to be a Christian man. I eventually met a Focus missionary named Steve, and he shared with me his story, and it was eerily similar to mine, and he really started working with me, challenging me to respect women a lot more, and that was really where the change started happening in my life.
I guess the main one was I actually acquired a prayer life, made time to go to the chapel and pray for 15 minutes to half an hour at least every day.
Just being open to going to a Bible study, coming to Mass, that was probably the first change. Not necessarily changing my life, but just going and hearing people talk, seeing people's lives as a strong Catholic was probably the first thing that made me more attracted to CCM and more attracted to possibly changing my life.